All right, I see TGIs, I see beams, I see plywood. Let's check out the upper floor. Okay, I'm gonna show you another structural detail which pertains to the second floor. So we're standing on the second floor of the house, one level below the rooftop deck. What's planned for the rooftop deck is a parapet wall which will be located 4 feet from the outer edge, landing right where these plywood gussets are. Now you see these gussets are being installed on both sides of the TGIs, sandwiched together and nailed together with a certain nailing pattern. Now the reason why we have these gussets in place is to support the future parapet wall, which will be installed along this line from the back of the house running all the way to the front at this point. Now these gussets will provide a little bit more rigidity and stiffness to this TGI and help to uniformly distribute the load, because there will be a load coming right down at this point. So every one of these TGIs will be reinforced to take on that additional load. And this is called a gusset. Okay, one of the topics I want to cover today lightly is an issue of combustibility. This topic is very common in the city of Vancouver, and it has to do with distance between your house and the neighboring property line. When you don't achieve that limiting distance, which is 1.2 meters from the house to the neighboring property line, the entire wall will have to be considered a non-combustible wall assembly. Versus the other side of the house, when you do have that limiting distance met, the materials you use on this side can be of combustible nature. Okay? We have prescribed spray foam for this project. Spray foam is a combustible material. Therefore, it can only be used on this side of the house. On this side of the house, we have to treat it a little bit differently, because the spray foam cannot be used in these areas. Something of a non-combustible nature must be used in lieu. So the top of this wall will be treated a little bit differently. Instead of using spray foam, we'll be using rock sole pressed against this rim board, and then followed by some blocking which will hold it in place as such. From here onwards, we'll be spraying 2-pound spray foam alongside the bottom of the sheathing all the way to the other side of the house. And that will give us our R value for the roof area, or AKA roof deck area. So we'll get into all these cool details when it's time to meet with the spray foam guy, and we'll identify all the areas and separate what's combustible and what's non-combustible. Onto the rooftop deck. Wow, look at that view, amazing. All right, so we're gonna get the sheathing to continue all the way across all these TGIs, and by the time we're finished, the small parapet walls and the roof features will come on. But man, I can't wait to the final product. We're gonna have like 800 square feet of usable rooftop deck. As we start making the upstairs rooftop deck area, one of the things we have to really focus on is to make sure the access from inside the house to the rooftop deck area is gonna satisfy the basic needs of the code. Now, one of the things is clearance, because you know you have a 36-inch minimum clearance, but by the time you start adding all the insulation, the cladding materials, the handrails, that's gonna shrink that accessible area down quite a bit. So now's the time not to screw up. So now's the time to make sure you have all your measurements and allowances to be included in that accessible area. So later on, you don't have a framed solid wall in place and find out, oh my God, I don't have enough clearance. I need to meet my minimum 36 inches. So this is the time we double check all the measurements, because once these walls are in place, we're not taking them down. So we'll get into more detail of those areas. I do see that mistake being made a lot of times on other job sites. So this is the time to really focus on it. We'll get more into that as this area gets framed up. All right, this example right here shows that framers really care about this job. On this area here, we're prescribed to do blocking between the TGIs, okay? And normally you can just use cutoffs. For example, TGI cutoffs is very common to use. Regular 2x material is also common to use. We have some extra rim board lying around, and check out this detail. The framers cut around the flange shape of each TGI and fit them in, and this provides very nice solid blocking all the way along this run. Yeah, good job on the framers. I love this kind of work. It's gonna be a very good solid blocking for this area. So another very good and productive day. By tomorrow, all these areas should be sheathed off, and we can start laying out the parapet wall locations and the roof feature which goes here. Basically, it's called a doghouse where we house all the mechanical equipment. That'll be installed in this area, so I'm excited to see that. Oh, let's check back tomorrow.